And I say welcome to PKF Hotel Experts in Conversation with, and today we've got John van Rooyen, who's the Director of Operations for the Western and Eastern Cape in South Africa. Hello, John, how are you?
Hi, Nils, I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm excellent, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for agreeing to chat to me today. Tell us a little bit about Tsogo Sun. Who is Tsogo Sun? How many units do you have? Where do you operate?
Nils, we've got over 100 hotels in South Africa and in Africa, and with Abu Dhabi, and also in Seychelles. So we well represented in Africa, South Africa, Abu Dhabi, and Seychelles. Over 100 hotels.
That's a sizable company for sure. I mean, I started my career in South Africa many, many years ago with the then Southern Sun Hotel in Sandton. Where we met many years ago too. John, at the moment with this horrible crisis that we call COVID-19, how many are open currently of your hotels?
Sorry, I lost you there for the last minute.
I said, how many hotels are open currently?
Sorry about that. At the moment, we've got about 44 of the hotels open out of our 100. And that includes timeshare hotels, Nils.
The president of South Africa has spoken last week and has said that we're now moving as of yesterday to what we call level 1. Will that see all units open, or are you doing it in a staggered fashion, or how are you going to do it?
Yeah, that will depend on the various provinces where we operate. You know, if you take a place like the Western Cape, we have majority, well, I would say 4 to 5 segments out of 7 is internationally related. So the Western Cape, I would imagine, will be one of the last provinces to really get going on the occupancy. But, you know, we've opened the hotels with local leisure so far, a bit of government business, a bit of aircrew business now coming through, and making their reservations, seeing that we're opening the borders in the not too distant future. We're still waiting for the amount of countries that could be allowed to fly into South Africa, and then come to the international airports throughout South Africa. KZN has shown some very good uptake in domestic tourism and also in small little conferences. And Johannesburg, Gauteng has also had similar, with a bit of leisure, a bit of conference business, and a bit of corporate business. So it's starting in the various segments, but the international side coming to Cape Town will more than likely only start really getting busy if the flights are allowed to come into South Africa and then on to Cape Town. As business opens and there's more, less protocols that has to be enforced, I would imagine then the CBD areas of the various provinces will also then improve. People will start going back to the offices, and the economy will start getting a bit of a jump start, Nils.
You almost answered my question, but I mean, you went in quite aggressively with pricing for the domestic market. To kickstart that, has that worked? Has it given you the results that you were expecting?
Yeah, it's worked exceptionally well. We took 4 or 5 hotels. We took the Mount Grace in Magaliesburg. We took the Beverly Hills in Umhlanga. We took the Palazzo Hotel in Fourways Monte Casino. And very exciting, 2 Wednesdays ago, we opened the Arabella. Arabella's got 145 rooms. It is a beautiful hotel, and it's got a golf course second to none, one of the top 10 in South Africa, large bedrooms, big bathrooms, 135 bird species, mountain bike trails. You've got close to Hermanus to watch the whales. You've got the Hebel and Arde wine valley. So it really is a very, very exciting project, and it's been extremely well received. We are 100% booked for the long weekend. It just goes to show that the South African public and the domestic market is so eager to go to these hotels again, see a different view, and experience quality. And the price is 1900. Like you say, the prices are crazy. For 1,900 Rand, you can stay at the Arabella and have breakfast, and it's a room rate which will accommodate 2 people. What we've also done is we've added a dinner. So for 2 per night, you can have accommodation, breakfast, and dinner. And that's great value for money. You've got to agree with that, Nils.
Oh, no, absolutely, 100%. So really what we hear all over the world, because you may know I've had these chats with lots of people, and we also do our round tables as PKF hotel experts. We do hear that everybody is banking on the domestic market to come out first, domestic leisure to come out first, and then everybody is saying corporate will follow. You know, many of your units are corporate or aimed at the local corporate market or the regional corporate market. Do you find that a lot of people are still holding back, or is it starting to show the normal patterns? You know, the Monday to Friday a corporate thing that is for many of your units a bread and butter business.
Yeah, I think Nils, that people are still a bit hesitant to travel, you know, to get to the various parts of South Africa. But I think that as the restrictions reduce and we're now in level 1, and the businesses, like I mentioned earlier, start getting back to the office. You know, I was at one stage, I was very concerned about what we're on today, this Zoom call or the Microsoft Teams meetings, you know, and it's not the same. I'll be honest with you, thank goodness it's not the same, because if it was, then a large portion of our business would be at serious risk. So we hope that people will start traveling in the not too distant future. We've had a couple of trickles of business in the corporate side coming back to our hotels, but nothing to get excited about. I think I mentioned before to you, Nils, that our major massive sporting event will be in July, August next year, with the British Lions tour coming to South Africa. And you know, if the destination had doubled the amount of rooms, we would sell every one. The demand for that British Lions tour is just absolutely amazing. I have never seen such a demand for rooms. It's like the Rugby World Cup, the Soccer World Cup from 2010 all over again. There's been a huge demand, and there are lots of people coming to support that British Lions tour.
No, definitely something to look forward to, and in particular in a time which is normally not as highly booked, our Cape Winters. Tell me, it might be a little bit difficult now, licking your wounds, as it were, but looking ahead maybe beginning of the year, which started off extremely well. The pipeline, how has the pipeline been affected? Looking for new openings, looking for places to be taken over, or whatever it might be in there. Has that come to a complete halt, or are you pursuing those opportunities that you may have looked at?
In terms of?
In terms of new hotels, in terms of new openings, in terms of opportunities where you say there might be something that we want to rebrand, that might be something that we want to expand, and what have you.
Yeah, you know, Nils, we're looking at our portfolio all the time, you know, and once we've consolidated and understood the market far better, then strategically we'll then look at those decisions going forward. At the moment, we are not quite sure which market segments will be dominant once again. So we've got about 6 or 7 segments in each hotel, and in some cases, some of the segments are more dominant than others. But I always stick with that 5 by 20. 5 by 20, 20% of 5 various segments is always a good thing to have. You know, those hotels that rely heavily just on corporate or just on leisure or just on group and convention, it's often difficult to maintain those occupancies, unless, of course, you are just a resort or a leisure destination. Then you're going to rely on your majority market. But as you said earlier on, we are most of our hotels are based in major cities, especially the big ones. You know, the 500-600 bedroom hotels, they're based in city centers, and there we have to have a combination of various segments to get that hotel to an acceptable occupancy. But going forward strategically, we will see what segments are going to be becoming more dominant, and we might change and manage the hotel in a slightly different way to cater for that specific market segment, or we might have to go to create some segments of various markets once again if the need arises.
Mm-hmm. John, a lot of hotels have, or a lot of places who have offer long stay have said that the crisis showed that segment up as a very sustainable one, as a one that kind of cruised through the crisis. Is that something that Tsogo is looking at? So long stay, apart hotels, that kind of segment?
At this stage, we have not discussed that, but we've got many timeshare hotels throughout South Africa, and there might be some opportunities in the timeshare industry where we could consider a portion of the hotel to become timeshare, right, or sectional, or a fraction timeshare, that type of thing. There's various ways of doing that. But if that is the segment that we have to look at, then we'll certainly do so. If the need arises, we've got some very large hotel bedrooms, like if I take the Cape Sun, it's got large bedrooms, which were ex-5-star hotel, now it's a 4-star hotel. So we can do some conversions, if the need arises, if we feel that the long stay market is something that we should pursue going forward.
Yeah, I think this crisis has certainly forced us, or forced the industry to look at options with a much more open eye and be more flexible. John, time is running away. I thank you for your time. I wish you well as you open your other units, as you steer through this crisis. Again, as I said, I've started working with Tsogo Sun when I first came to South Africa. I know it's a good, solid company with experienced hoteliers like yourself. So you will master it. I wish you well with that, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nils, and thank you to everybody else that's watching this recording. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I hope to see you soon in real life.
Thank you, Nils. All the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.